welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are going to be discussing the Before the Coffee Gets Cold special edition from TikTok Shop and why I'm not getting it. Quite simply, I am going to basically say I was someone that was very excited when this was announced. However, when you see over 100 people claiming that there is only 1,000 of this book, this special TikTok edition being released, and you've seen roughly 100 people talking about it, that limits the number of how special it is down to roughly 900, and from what I can tell, some of them got it for free, which for some, when it's a special edition, I'm someone who would like equal opportunity and wants to know if people have bought that themselves, and if only 1,000 have been published, it just kind of puts me off. Now, I understand the marketing strategy, but I also don't think that we are being told the truth. I think that there's either more. I do think that if there's over 100 that have been handed out, there's probably more than that in production. But for the price point, I already own the book. I own the original paperback that I got for £1 plus postage on Vinted. As much as I am a massive fan of the Coffee Gets Cold, I do believe we are getting book 7 soon, which you will have seen a YouTube video on. But 2, there's also quite a few sprayed edges editions, and as I don't know all the editions, and I think we are going to see quite a few more editions of this book come out, I don't get the hype. I'm not on the hype, even though it's one of my all-time favourite books. I really enjoyed it, and I do think that the details that they have on this book is absolutely stunning. I would much rather, if I was have this book that I have the first book of the series of, rather than the special edition and paying extra for the special edition. Would I like to own the special edition? Absolutely. Can I, as a consumer and a booktuber, confidently buy that, knowing full well that quite a few people have gotten it for free? No, it kind of puts me off wanting to get this special edition, especially when it's being promoted as having a limited edition. Now, I don't know which ones of these BookTok and YouTubers have got it right about whether there are only 1,000 in print or whether there are less. But for me, as a consumer, as someone who loves books, it feels less special. It doesn't feel as important. I think the graphics on it are absolutely gorgeous. I don't think it encapsulates what the book is about, because on the front of the cover it is white. There's a black cat in the middle, and for those of you who are familiar with the series, it's really an unusual design choice, but it's cozy, and I appreciate that, and I like the little bookmark on it. But I would much rather, if I was going to get a special edition of the book, get a signed edition, rather than the BookTok book TikTok limited edition, because it just feels less authentic to me as someone who is a fan of the series. Now, this isn't to knock anyone who wants to get Toshikazu Kawaguchi's Before the Coffee Gets Cold TikTok book edition. However, a few of my mates have asked me why I haven't got it yet, because this is a book series that in person I'm very open about enjoying and absolutely loving, and I do want to put it out there that I do love the fact we have a TikTok special edition book for the series, because it's nice that it means that we could potentially be getting more people who are going to be coming into the book space. However, just the way I've seen it promoted doesn't make the book feel authentic to me, and because it doesn't feel as authentic to me as the original book that I originally read and that book that I got for £1 plus postage on Vinted, it's put me off getting the special edition. I don't know if I'm ever likely going to see in my lifetime be able to go to a panel where I could meet the author, which would be more important to me, because I love his world creations. I love how he writes his books. I love how he describes humans, the human condition, emotions, and different relationships with different characters and how they integrate. But for a special edition, something about BookTok just kind of destroys a book for me. It's not that it's overhyped necessarily. The reason I've not got it is, to me, there is no value in it anymore, especially not when there are editions being handed out for free. And I appreciate that there are influencers getting it for free, but this is something I've seen advertised for a few months now. So we are now in October, and only 1,000 of this book have been made apparently. And I've seen it since the beginning of September, this book being advertised by different book influencers. So this brings up the other question: why is this book not selling out? Why is it not sold out if only 1,000 have been made and a number of those books have also been given out for free? Would I still like to own the book? Yes. But something about it not selling out within a month, even though there's only 1,000 copies, allegedly, just, I feel like this kind of shows where we are as consumers. Like, why would I get this special edition? What makes it so special? The cover's cute, the bookmark is great, this is a book I would happily read again, but there's nothing in this book that makes it any more special to me, even though I'm a long-time fan of the book, than this cheap book I bought off someone from Vinted, because it's going to have the same story in. Yes, it is a pretty version. Yes, it has a gorgeous front cover. Do I think the front cover represents the book? No, absolutely not. Do I like the detail? Yes, I think it's gorgeous. If this was how it was presented when the book was first released, if this was a book that I came across in, say, Waterstones, and I hadn't read the series before, I would have picked it up. But it doesn't sell the story to me again, and that's why I've not bought it. I think there's only so far you can go with these special editions of books. There's a book I wanted to read and I was very excited for, and I actually rang my boyfriend the other day to help me, because there was a signed edition of a Japanese literature book. I think it was like The Murder at the Black Cat Cafe or something, which I am still debating going back. I've not read that book. I really enjoy that author, and there's that incentive to buy because I've not read the book. I don't own the book, and it would be nice to have a book signed by an author. If this TikTok limited edition was signed by the author, then that would be my incentive to potentially donate the current edition of the book I have and buy that. But it's just a TikTok special edition. And to me, as someone who has seen how books on BookTube and BookTok have developed over time, it is just feeding into consumerism, and it's just a quick cash grab to me. I love that it's a special edition, but the fact of the matter is, when we have special edition books, we want to be seeing them sell out usually within a month, and if not, there's probably a reason it's not sold out. Now, whether that's because more than 1,000 was released and I've had booktubers and booktokers lie to me about that, I don't know. Whether this isn't just not that much of a popular book, I don't know. Maybe it's because people want to buy books 1 to 5 as the box set, which is available, even though book 6 has now just been released. Again, I don't know. But the TikTok bookshop, as beautiful as the cover is, as much as I would love it, I just can't see myself forking over the money for this special edition book, because so many books get special editions, so many variations and reiterations of these books come out, and again, we like to see that for our favourite books, but you only need one copy of the book. And I'm quite happy with my second-hand book that I bought from Vinted after I borrowed reading the book from the library. I have also listened to the audiobook from my local library, which is what pushed me to buy the book, and I have reread the first book in the series quite a few times. But again, there's just not that incentive. It's a special edition, and TikTok, unfortunately, is releasing special edition books for so many books and so many authors that unfortunately it glamorizes and does it in excess, and it's also not selling out. Therefore, it's not as desirable anymore. It's just trying to feed into this consumerism that you must have. And to be quite frank, I don't see much different, because other than it's got a pretty front cover and a bookmark. Do you think I'm wrong for these thoughts and feelings, or are there any books that you've seen like this with TikTok Shop? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.